On today's Star Wars Legends lore video, we talk about the rebirth of Emperor Palpatine and Operation Shadow Hand. Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder. Hello and welcome to another Star Wars Legends lore video. Yesterday we talked about the 5 most powerful warlords in the post-Endor Star Wars universe. Throughout that video I talked about Operation Shadow Hand and the reborn Emperor Palpatine. Today we're going to cover that Star Wars Legends plot arc. Let's get started with a look at Palpatine himself. It might not surprise you to learn that unlike other Sith Lords of his era, Palpatine was not a big fan of the rule of 2. He was not interested in seeing the Sith lineage strengthened, rather he wanted himself to achieve power and as much power as possible and to live forever. Palpatine spent a good deal of time before his death learning the ancient technique of spirit transference. As the name would suggest, spirit transference allows a very powerful Force user to basically move between bodies. After perfecting this technique, he created a cloning facility on Biss, which housed extra Palpatine bodies. A couple of years after his death, Palpatine was able to somehow return to the living by possessing the body of an Imperial. He would then move his spirit to a Palpatine clone, beginning his plans to take over the galaxy. It should be noted, however, that each one of these clones was highly corruptible by the dark side, so they wouldn't last very long. Thankfully for Palpatine, he had almost infinite reserves and could easily switch upon death. Palpatine's first resurrection actually occurred several years before Operation Shadow Hand itself, his striking against the New Republic. He witnessed not only the fragmentation of Imperial forces, but the Thrawn campaign and other major galactic events. Operation Shadow Hand itself was initiated during the height of the Imperial Civil War. Now, the Dark Empire comics aren't exactly clear on this, but it appears like sometime after the Thrawn campaign, several Imperial factions launched an attack and managed to capture the planet of Coruscant. Luke Skywalker, who is fighting at the Imperial City, is swept away to the core world of Biss by one of Palpatine's Force storms. Palpatine launches a major assault on the New Republic world of Mon Calamari, using his newly unveiled world devastators, mobile factories which would tear a planet up using its resources to construct new Imperial military assets. While this is happening, Palpatine confronts Luke and actually manages to turn him to the dark side, although Luke does so only so he can defeat the new Empire from within. As proof of this, he sends shutdown codes for the world devastators to the New Republic, who manages to stop the attack on Mon Calamari, but not before the planet is devastated. In an attempt to return Luke to the light side, Han and Leia allow themselves to be captured by Palpatine's forces. They confront the Jedi and the Sith on Biss, where Palpatine reveals that he intends to take the body of Leia's soon-to-be-born Anakin Solo. Leia and Han end up escaping and actually manage to steal a Jedi holocron. While this is happening, Luke, who is still fighting with the dark side, goes to Palpatine's cloning facilities and manages to destroy all but one of the clones. In response to this, Palpatine defeats Luke in a duel and further progresses his fall to the dark side. The next major battle is at Pinnacle Base, where Palpatine shows off his brand new Eclipse class dreadnought. He demands that Leia return the Jedi holocron to him, and she goes on board. She helps Luke return from the dark side, and Palpatine and Luke once again duel. Luke manages to cut off the Sith Lord's hand and escapes with his sister. It should be noted that Luke only wins this duel where he lost the previous one because of the light side energy from Leia. During the Skywalker's escape, Palpatine summons a gigantic Force storm. Unfortunately for the Imperial forces, he loses control of it, and it sucks up not only a large portion of the 2 fleets, but also the Eclipse class dreadnought and himself. Palpatine, however, had further auxiliary clones hidden away in the galaxy. However, several Imperial Darkside users actually managed to kill most of these in an attempt to take the Imperial throne for themselves. This was discovered by Cedrus, another Imperial Dark Jedi, who saw what his companions were doing and executed them. Cedrus himself would continue Operation Shadow Hand until the return of Palpatine in his final clone body. This body, like all his clones, however, was deteriorating extremely quickly, not only to his immense dark side power, but, as he discovered, genetic tampering done by Imperial traitors. Skirmishes would continue between the Empire and the New Republic for some time until the unveiling of the Galaxy Gun. The Galaxy Gun is used against several planets and military assets, and the tide of the war seems to be changing. Despite all of this, Palpatine is still in extremely poor health. Not only that, but the Galaxy Gun has also been having some maintenance issues. Several missiles were duds, allowing their targets to survive. Palpatine, realizing his time is short, consults with Sith spirits at the planet Korriban. They tell him that he cannot be healed and that his only real option is to transfer his essence to the body of the newborn Anakin Solo. Sidious collected all of his assets, including the new Eclipse 2 Superstar Destroyer, and headed to the planet Onderon, which had been a refuge for the Solo children throughout the war. At Onderon, a New Republic strike team boarded the Eclipse-class dreadnought. However, Palpatine was not on the ship. He had already went to the planet to try to take possession of Anakin Solo. Before Palpatine is able to destroy Leia and do so, Luke along with 2 other Jedi show up in order to fight the Emperor for a final time. He is, in the end, actually killed by Han Solo, who shoots him in the back. However, really that was all part of his plan. His spirit, now free of his body, heads towards the infant Anakin Solo. However, at the last moment, it's intercepted by the Jedi Empatijay host Brand, who vows to, with his strength along with the strength of every other deceased Jedi, hold Palpatine's soul in eternal darkness, unable to ever return. Meanwhile, several members of the New Republic, including Cam Solusar, Lando Calrissian, and R2-D2, have remained on the Eclipse. They managed to sabotage the ship's hyperdrive, sending it to the world Biss and the Galaxy Gun. The massive dreadnought crashes through the superweapon, and one of the special missiles from the Galaxy Gun explodes, destroying the 2 weapons and the planet Biss itself, thus ending Emperor Palpatine and Operation Shadowhand in one fell swoop. And that's really all there is to it. This was a serious blow to the Empire and really the beginning of the end. Did you like this story? Do you like this sort of video format? Let me know all of that and more down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. And of course, if you want to further support the channel, consider checking out the Discord, my Patreon, and follow me on Twitter. Thanks a lot, guys. Until next time, may the Force be with you.